This path will be unique to you and your circumstances in life. You will be given what you need to flourish. Your job is to surrender to those surprising gifts and experiences that will typically come your way. You will need to source yourself and make your own decision.
Basically, what we all have to do is understand and realize that the mystics that came in the past and the advice they gave, which is passed down basically in the religious scriptures about the mode of life that we lead, is key. There's obviously, diet, general physical health, and so on, but the mental health of the person, in the sense of how we think, how we behave, to develop compassion, understanding, and love, is the key for a healthy process and a healthy human race.
Everyone should stop and ask themselves, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's my purpose? What's the meaning of what I'm chasing in life? Whether it be my identity as a parent with a dozen children, whether it be a pile of wealth or pension funds, what is the purpose of what I am doing? And what is my purpose for being here? Because by asking the right questions, the answers will come to you.
Every one of us has to build a better person. That's how the world is going to, in my mind, survive. You can't legislate it. You can't do it by force. It has to bloom, and it will bloom. Kundalini is also considered to be the guardian of evolution. So a higher consciousness or cosmic consciousness isn't just an experience for a short period of time. At the end of the day, we're supposedly going to live in it like we live now, except with that glory and that love and that awe and a perception that generally we don't have at the moment.
I stop and ask themselves, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's my purpose? What's the meaning of what I'm chasing in life? Whether it be my identity as a parent with a dozen children, whether it be a pile of wealth or pension funds, what is the purpose of what I am doing? And what is my purpose for being here? Because by asking the right questions, the answers will come to you.
Everyone, in my mind, survive. You can't legislate it. You can't do it by force. It has to bloom, and it will bloom. Kundalini is also considered to be the guardian of evolution. So a higher consciousness or cosmic consciousness isn't just an experience for a short period of time. At the end of the day, we're supposedly going to live in it like we live now, except with that glory and that love and that awe and a perception that generally we don't have at the moment. So we can take advantage of it and develop ourselves spiritually. But what's happening in general is we're not spending that time that way. Okay? We're either working harder to make more money, or we're kind of, just goofing around doing something. And that's okay. We should have fun. Life is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be joyful. But we have to have a balance.
If people will pursue their highest nature, that is the way to pursue the unfolding of Kundalini. Pursue your highest nature as a loving, compassionate, generous, kind human being. Pursue your ability to serve others with that kind of attitude. And you will be fully pursuing the Holy Spirit, the Kundalini, however you want to call it. And it will become alive and present in you.
You have
self-awareness, whose truth. I am your host, Rose. And this is a part 2 of the insert you just watched. And I will elaborate a little more, but I would love for you to go to his website. And there's a lot of information. This is a wonderful DVD. When I heard him speak at the New Life Expo about the Kundalini energy. Some people call it the ascension or the great shift, resurrection, but it is almost like a death. And you feel it physically, mentally, and spiritually. You have to be aware of this process, and you need to go on the website. You can type in ascension, the great shift, or the Kundalini, and you will get so much information about this process, which is very important. And at some point, we all will go through it. Some people, because just the way they was explaining in part one, because they wasn't aware, it really drove some people mentally off. Some people committed suicide. Doctors are giving people medication that really making them worse or stopping the natural process. That's why I recommended on part one to go and check out the health food store, which has a lot of the natural products to help you through this process. And Dr. Blair, who I had the pleasure of entertaining 3 days at my apartment, and we did a show taping here at BronxNet. And he has a lot of good information on YouTube about the ascension and the different changes that not only we are experiencing, but Mother Earth, the planet. So this is some information you really need to be aware of and do your research and just get an understanding of what's going on. So when you are feeling a lot of these symptoms, and if you go on the website, David Icke website, he listed over 60 symptoms that he experienced. I think both of us passed 60 symptoms, but I can't explain them all to you in this short insert. So, and the whole process is about dying to the 3 dimension, to this ego base of materialism and money, titles and status and all of that, which is all an illusion. So the whole thing is about letting go, healing a lot of your negative emotion that you have been suppressing for years or generation after generation. The whole process is bringing us back to the Godhead. And this is about unconditional love. This is about compassion. This is about inner peace, not just for yourself, but for the world. And a lot of the healing that I spoke about in my book, which was a lot of the emotional stuff that caused a lot of the illnesses that I experienced. So this whole process for you to evolve to the higher levels and to be able to go to the 5th dimension, you must heal all of these low vibration, because you have to understand we are just an energy source, just like the creator that we call God. So I just wanted to explain that this is about love and peace and harmony and compassion. And this is another wonderful book. And I met this black psychiatrist, and he does a workshop every Saturday in Harlem. And this book, The Heart of the Soul, is all about the heart, not the head. We're coming out of the head. And I showed you this book before when my guest, Mr. Hopkins, was interviewed, the young man that sent me $1,000 donation to help me continue doing what I'm doing to bring this information to you. And I'm so grateful for him and all the other donation. But this, put your money where your heart is. And this is really the process that we are all going through. And I just want to elaborate on some of the different experience I've been going through for the last few years with these symptoms and learning how to detach. That is so important. So I've been put in a situation where I felt that I was being tested, challenged, whatever word you want to use. So, and these are things I normally probably wouldn't have done on this level. But I went to the post office one day last year, and this homeless lady was standing there, and she was begging for money. I already said to myself, which was my lower self, my ego, I'm not going to give her any money. So I passed her, ignored her. I went to the post office. Coming back, I had to pass her again. And I did. But then my inner spirit stopped me in my tracks and told me to turn around. So I turned around and I looked at her, and I knew I had to go and give her some money. But to my surprise, as I reached out to give her some money and she reached out to receive it, I don't know how it happened, but we wind up embracing each other. I couldn't let her go, and she did not let me go. And I never felt so loved, so free. And I knew at that moment I was feeling the presence of the Creator. I wasn't concerned about her being dirty. I wasn't concerned whether she was smelling, which I didn't smell anything. And it really took me to another level. But when I told my roommate what happened, she just couldn't say a word. And she just walked away because I know she wouldn't